Hey everyone, welcome to this explainer. Today we're unpacking something absolutely fascinating. It's this incredibly profound concept of finding true mental freedom just by, well, aggressively questioning our own minds. Let's get right into it. Okay, so let's set the stage real quick. The insights we're diving into today are all based on some really meticulous research compiled by Sachin Karnik. He focuses entirely on this idea of critical inquiry as a literal form of psychological liberation. What Karnik has done here is pretty remarkable. He's built this massive bridge connecting the deep, philosophical perspectives of Krishnamurti with modern, hard science to map out exactly how you and I can achieve genuine psychological freedom. So here's a question to kick things off, and it really forces you to pause, right? Is the mind that seeks the truth actually capable of seeing without distortion, or is it merely reorganizing its own conditioning? Honestly, it makes you wonder if our pursuit of truth is sometimes just our own biases wearing a shiny new mask. Section 1. The Trap of Conditioning. Let's look at the invisible barriers holding us back. Notice the stark contrast here. Normally, when we inquire about something, we look outward, right? We look at facts, at theories, institutions. But Krishnamurti's approach, this critical inquiry, flips the script. It's turned entirely inward. It scrutinizes the observer. It asks, hey, is the mind conducting this investigation actually free from its own distortions? To understand this, the research compares our minds to an archaeological dig site. Seriously, human consciousness is stacked in layers. You've got your immediate, everyday opinions right at the surface. But dig a little deeper, and you hit cultural narratives, family expectations, childhood experiences, all the way down to these deep, collective fears, resting right at the bedrock. This quote really nails it. The present reaction may therefore be the visible surface of a much older structure. Think about it. When you have a sudden flash of anger, or maybe a really rigid political stance, that's usually just the tip of a huge inherited psychological iceberg. We're reacting from that deep bedrock without even realizing it. Moving on to Section 2, turning the lens inward and how we actually excavate the mind. Okay, so how do we dig? We use critical inquiry. It's defined here as the direct, living investigation into the actual movement of thought, our conditioning, our identity, and consciousness itself. And to be clear, this isn't about winning some stuffy academic debate. No, this is an active, living purification process meant to completely strip away our illusions. Think of doubt not as some toxic cynicism, but as a whetstone sharpening a blade. The research likens it to a goldsmith's fire burning away the impurities of our unfounded assumptions. Every single stroke across that stone challenges our preconceptions and hones our mind's edge to an absolute razor-sharp point. Section 3. The Science of Skepticism. Let's look at the neurovalidation behind all this. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds a bit purely philosophical, but actually, this is where that interdisciplinary bridge comes into play perfectly. We can place modern psychological introspection right next to hard neuroscience. The philosophy of skepticism literally has deep roots in the biology of our brains. Just look at this fascinating 2008 neuroscientific study by Harris, Sheff, and Cohen. They found that distinct neural pathways activate when beliefs are accepted versus when they're rejected. Your brain actually performs what the authors call a cerebral ballet of neuroplasticity. Basically, you're physically rewiring your brain when you aggressively evaluate your beliefs. How cool is that? And we see this exact same thing mirrored in modern psychological tools today. Both cognitive behavioral therapy, which helps identify cognitive distortions, and mindfulness, which builds our meta-awareness, meaning our ability to observe our own thoughts, deeply echo Krishnamurti's call. They teach us to observe what's in our consciousness and reframe those distortions completely without judgment. Section 4. Freedom from authority and overcoming our reliance on it. Armed with all this science, we're finally ready to confront one of the toughest barriers to cognitive liberation: psychological authority. This is when we surrender our inward perception and responsibility to an institution, a tradition, or a dogmatic belief. In a really interesting dialogue between Karnik and Bott in the source material, they note that while religions offer beautiful paths, they can inadvertently become tools of division if we just blindly accept dogmas without that critical inward awareness. The mind must be willing to stand without certainty. It's a powerful statement. It reminds us that true inquiry has to begin from a place of not knowing. If we want to perceive reality exactly as it actually is, we have to throw away our safety nets and our preconceived ideals. Section 5.
inquiry in daily life, and understanding our everyday consciousness.
Let's bring this soaring philosophy back down to earth for a second. The most revealing field of inquiry isn't actually sitting on a meditation cushion somewhere. It's right there in our daily relationships. It's catching your own instant defensiveness when someone criticizes you, or feeling that swell of pride during praise, or that quiet ping of jealousy in a relationship. These immediate raw reactions, they are the prime material for your inward investigation. Furthermore, this leads to developing a refined epistemic filter, which is basically a built-in mental lie detector. It means using introspection to sort out genuine knowledge from digital misinformation. Living in a digital age that is just overflowing with competing narratives and manipulation, this constant self-inquiry acts like a vital mental immune system, protecting us from propaganda.
And all this digging leads us to the ultimate realization. In choiceless observation, the entire movement of thought is seen as one field. Psychological distance collapses. Basically, in this state of super alert, open consciousness, you don't negotiate with your illusions anymore. You simply see them for what they are. And because you truly see them, they just dissolve.
So I want to leave you with this final, provocative thought to chew on today. As you're watching this explainer, are you just passively accepting these ideas? Or are you actively examining the immediate reactions of your own mind right now? I really hope this sparks a genuine, ongoing inquiry into your own consciousness. Keep questioning everything, and thanks so much for joining me today.